This video will be about the ability to shoot at long distance from an elevated position and its limitations. To deliberately shoot at something, you'd have to see it, but to accidentally shoot something, all you have to do is be able to get the bullet through the material in the area. As you can see here, I'm pointing out an area specifically in an image from Las Vegas shooting, and as you can see here, some trees and a building. This is an L-shaped building on the map, and this is a line-shaped building. This is the view from the line-shaped building's edge right at that point. And if I can get the computer to cooperate, you can see that you can just barely see the top of the Mandalay Bay. Right there. Which means we're hidden. But a bullet could still get through the trees and hit us. It would be deflected a lot, it would have lost a lot of energy, but that's about what would happen. And the thing is, got to point this out, I'm just going to point out the lack of luck. All you'd have to do is be behind that cart, and the bullet wouldn't hit you. Or even enough trees would keep it from hitting you. The angle is so shallow, it makes it a lousy shot. But technically it's within view, yes. And if you were aiming really high accuracy, yeah, okay. Now over here is the tank that was actually hit at this angle. It's almost exactly a 90-degree angle. It's just a little bit off, just because of the angle. This is where the venue was. This is literally where all the shooting ended up happening. He was aiming into a target-rich environment. This area out here was and is used mostly for parking. This over here is parking. These are roads where people are traveling. This area here effectively was not visible. You couldn't see through to shoot anything, so you'd spray and pray and maybe get through things. But basically, the idea that Paddock had to be a sharpshooter is bullshit because he sprang. And the only time he tried to shoot anything, he tried to shoot these tanks, apparently. And beyond that are buildings and maybe some tanks in the background. But again, the angle is the deal. Just being behind, you can be behind a fire hydrant and not hit because the bullet could just hit low. Bullets don't always aim themselves for what you think they're supposed to hit. And I'm sure he kind of figured that out while he was doing this. Pointing down into a crowd gives you a large cross-sectional area to hit. And also, because of the angle, it's not exactly 45-degree angle, but you have the opportunity to hit a person or three people with a bullet. And yeah, except for aiming out the other window at planes, it's basically a bunch of parked cars and civilians walking around, and that's it. So anything that ignores all of that is just kind of a waste of energy and time on everybody's part. This is the parking lot area. There's actually a memorial here to the lady that died and several other people that were injured. And there's the site picture. Now, we're just going to do it real quick. Now you see me, now you don't. It's really, really hard to say someone deliberately shot something. I mean, over here, let's see if we can see it. I think it's still visible, or was last time I checked. Let's just zoom in. Yeah. Could be an impact from something, but a lot of people thought that was a bullet hit. Street View's your friend. Going where the people were when they were found harmed, or where it's claimed they were hit, or they were definitely hit, is very useful to do. And what we get out of this, this is what I get out of it, is that even that angle's pretty damn shallow. And again, if you can't see it, you can't hit it unless you are just spraying, in which case you're not aiming, which means you don't have to have any precision or skill. Emphasis at it. Where did most of the people get shot at? What is the major target area? Always start from this position, statistically speaking. The long shots are not relevant compared to the number of people harmed. The angle here is not 45. But it's not so shallow that you can hide behind literally a shrub. This is what he was aiming at. I'm starting to think any discussion outside of the range of what actually happened is a way to detract from what did happen. I'm starting to get bothered by it. By the way, if you're curious, that's the area where the lady was that they have a memorial at right there. Right there. The thing for me, if anybody's curious, is that the important part of this has always been what actually happened. I don't do the what ifs very much. Don't want to, because they don't accomplish anything, really. They can't. We can sit around and say what if or try to figure out what Stephen Paddock was thinking. I don't want to anymore. What we have here is a simple problem. Something happened that day. We have the person who did it. People wanting to make it about multiple shooters, or everything else is just a distraction. It was a pointless distraction. 100% of it. I don't understand why it became such an obsession. But exploring every possible combination is useful. But beyond a certain point, you have to change your perspective and look where things actually happened and where things went wrong. Pretty sure he was just aiming at the tanks, and shooting beyond it is kind of a waste of time when they're broadside of the barn kind of thing. And yes, if the police officers gave us a better photo directly at that angle, it would make it a lot easier. I'm sure there is one in the FIT report, but I just don't want to dig it up at this point. I just don't see any point in going any further. Also, I should point out, precision shooting requires you not have this in the way. He was able to hit the tanks. You'd have to actually get a view from that window to see what he was able to hit, and then go from there. At least as far as AR-10s. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.